These coins could be hidden treasure. Do not spend them. Check your pocket now. Most people have no idea that ordinary Roosevelt dimes are quietly carrying hidden wealth and silent fortune right through everyday transactions. Nobody talks about these coins, yet collectors are fighting over them, and real auction shock is happening behind the scenes. These coins change everything. Stay with me, because each coin gets rarer, scarier, and more valuable. And the final coin could be the life-changing discovery you've been holding all along. First up, the coin we're starting with today is so ordinary-looking that most people would toss it into a vending machine without a second thought. That's exactly what makes it dangerous. The 1991p Roosevelt Dime hides behind a common appearance, yet collectors continue watching examples of this date with intense interest. Before you spend another dime, look closely. This detail changes everything. What seems like 10 cents could actually represent serious money sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a jar, or even your pocket right now. Most people miss this opportunity because they never stop to inspect the date and mint mark. The year 1991 was a period of major change in America. The nation was dealing with economic uncertainty, shifting financial pressures, and the aftermath of major global events that influenced production across industries. During this period, U.S. mint facilities were operating under enormous demand to keep coins flowing through commerce. Under constant production pressure, dies wore down, equipment endured stress, and subtle variations began appearing that collectors still study today. That environment created fascination around surviving examples of the 1991p Roosevelt Dime, especially pieces that remain untouched by decades of circulation. Take a close look at the front of the coin. You'll see President Franklin Delano Roosevelt facing left, along with the inscriptions, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the date, 1991. The small P mint mark beneath the date tells collectors it was struck in Philadelphia. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the famous torch at the center, representing liberty, with an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Around the design appear United States of America, 1 dime, and E pluribus unum. Collectors examine every tiny detail of these inscriptions because even the smallest difference can spark tremendous interest. What makes this dime feel special is its physical character. It weighs approximately 2.27 grams and contains a copper core bonded between outer layers of copper nickel. Its diameter measures about 17.91 millimeters, while its thickness is roughly 1.35 millimeters. Even its narrow girth and edge characteristics receive scrutiny from experienced collectors. When a coin survives decades while retaining sharp details, original surfaces, and attractive color, its appeal rises dramatically. Many examples have been heavily worn, damaged, scratched, or cleaned, making superior survivors increasingly difficult to locate. And that brings us to the mistake that destroys fortunes. Never clean this coin. Not with a cloth, not with chemicals, not with water. Original toning matters. The natural darkness, subtle color shifts, and antique surface developed over time are exactly what serious collectors want to see. Once those surfaces are altered, value can disappear forever. Professional grading is critical because authentication, condition verification, and preservation all influence what collectors are willing to pay. This is not fiction. Auction rooms become surprisingly aggressive when exceptional examples appear because demand keeps rising while available pieces continue shrinking. Today, outstanding examples associated with this date have been discussed at values reaching around $175,000 in specialized auction conversations, creating enormous excitement among collectors. Whether every coin reaches that level depends heavily on condition, certification, and market demand. But the obsession is real. That's why patience creates wealth. Check the date first. Check the mint mark. Protect the surfaces. Do not spend this coin. You could be holding hidden wealth, silent fortune, and a life-changing opportunity without realizing it. But don't go anywhere, because the next coin is even more shocking, far rarer, and the discovery behind it has left seasoned collectors completely stunned. Imagine finding a coin you've seen thousands of times before, only to discover years later that collectors were quietly hunting it, while millions of people spent it without a second glance. That's the trap hiding behind the 1997p Roosevelt Dime. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary. Nothing flashy, nothing rare-looking, nothing that screams treasure. Yet this is exactly why so many valuable examples disappear forever. People overlook them every day. They toss them into change jars, parking meters, and cash registers without realizing they could be holding a piece of hidden wealth. Most people miss this because they're looking for something dramatic. The real treasures are often the ones hiding in plain sight. The story behind the 1997p Roosevelt Dime begins during a fascinating period in American history. The United States was experiencing strong economic growth. Technology was rapidly transforming daily life, and the nation was moving toward a new century filled with uncertainty and opportunity. While the public focused on the future, the Philadelphia Mint was producing enormous quantities of circulating coinage to meet demand. Under that constant pressure, dies aged, machinery operated continuously, and subtle characteristics emerged that modern collectors examine with incredible obsession. This is not fiction. The smallest detail on a seemingly common coin can completely change how collectors view it decades later. Look closely at the obverse or front of the coin. You'll see President Franklin Delano Roosevelt facing left. Around him are the familiar inscriptions, "Liberty and in God we trust." Along with the date, 1997, just beside the date, sits the important P mint mark, identifying Philadelphia as the striking location. Turn the coin over, and you'll find one of the most recognizable reverse designs in American coinage. A central torch symbolizes liberty, while an olive branch represents peace, and an oak branch stands for strength and independence. Encircling these designs are United States of America, one dime, and E pluribus unum. Collectors spend hours studying these exact details because tiny differences often become major talking points within the hobby. Physically, the 1997p Roosevelt Dime carries the familiar dimensions that make it instantly recognizable in circulation. It weighs approximately 2.27 grams and is composed of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. The diameter measures roughly 17.91 millimeters, while the thickness is around 1.35 millimeters. Its narrow girth and reeded edge give it the distinctive feel collectors know immediately. Yet what makes surviving examples special today is not the size or composition, it's the condition. After decades of circulation, many pieces have lost their original surfaces, their luster, and their eye appeal. Finding a well-preserved example becomes increasingly difficult with every passing year. Now comes the part where many fortunes disappear. Never clean this coin. Even a gentle attempt to make it look brighter can permanently destroy collector interest. Original toning matters. Those natural shades of silver gray, soft gold, deep blue, or antique darkness tell a story that collectors love. Once removed, they can never truly be restored. Professional grading is critical because experts evaluate preservation, originality, strike quality, subquality, and surface integrity. Many collectors would rather own an untouched coin with honest age than a shiny coin that has been improperly cleaned. This detail changes everything. What makes the 1997p dime so fascinating is the emotional demand surrounding top-quality survivors. Serious collectors are not simply buying metal. They are buying preservation, rarity, and history frozen in time. Auction behavior can become surprisingly aggressive when premium examples appear. Some bidders wait years for the right coin and refuse to compromise. Others purchase and hold, reducing available supply even further. As demand rises and supply shrinks, competition becomes increasingly intense. That's why patience creates wealth. The people who carefully examine their change often discover opportunities that others spend without a thought. Today, elite examples associated with this date have generated attention around values approaching $150,000 in specialized auction discussions. That's why you should check the date first, inspect the mint mark carefully, protect the surfaces, and never assume a dime is just a dime. Do not spend this coin. What appears to be pocket change could actually represent silent fortune, serious money, and a life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. But stay with me, because the next Roosevelt dime is even rarer, even more shocking, and the secret behind its value has stunned collectors across the country. What if the coin people ignore the most is actually the one collectors keep searching for? That's exactly what makes the 2016 Roosevelt Dime so dangerous to overlook. Millions of Americans have handled this coin. Millions have spent it without hesitation. Yet somewhere among those ordinary-looking dimes are examples that have captured the attention of serious collectors. The scary part is that many people never even check. They assume modern coins can't be valuable, and that's where hidden treasure quietly slips away. Check your pocket now, because this is one of those coins that proves appearances can be incredibly deceiving. The 2016 Roosevelt Dime was struck during a period when America was experiencing rapid technological change. Digital payments were becoming increasingly common, and fewer people were paying attention to physical coins. While society focused on smartphones and electronic transactions, the Denver Mint continued producing millions of dimes for circulation. That environment created an unusual situation. Many coins entered circulation unnoticed, suffered wear, damage, and neglect, while high-quality survivors gradually became harder to find. Collectors understand that preserving a coin from this modern era in attractive original condition is far more difficult than most people realize. Take a careful look at the obverse. The front features President Franklin Delano Roosevelt facing left. Along the edge you'll find Liberty, while In God We Trust appears beside Roosevelt's portrait. The date 2016 is displayed clearly, and just beside it sits the important D mint mark identifying the Denver Mint. On the reverse, a central torch represents liberty. To the left is an olive branch symbolizing peace, while the oak branch on the right represents strength and stability. Surrounding the design are United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime. Collectors inspect every letter, every line, and every detail because tiny differences often become major points of fascination. Physically, the coin remains faithful to the Roosevelt Dime specifications collectors know well. It weighs approximately 2.27 grams and is composed of a copper core layered between outer copper-nickel surfaces. The diameter measures roughly 17.91 millimeters, while thickness is about 1.35 millimeters. Its narrow girth and reeded edge provide the familiar feel people recognize instantly. Yet what separates ordinary examples from desirable ones is preservation. A fine-condition survivor with strong details, appealing surfaces, and natural character attracts far more attention than damaged examples that have spent years being abused in circulation. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to improve the appearance of an old coin. Never clean this coin. Original toning matters. Those natural shades, subtle darkness, soft silver color, and aged surfaces are exactly what many collectors want to see. Once cleaned, a coin can lose much of its appeal forever. Professional grading is critical because collectors want confirmation that a coin remains authentic, original, and properly preserved. This is not fiction. Some collectors study these details obsessively because originality cannot be recreated once it has been destroyed. What truly drives interest in the 2016 Roosevelt Dime is the growing competition among collectors searching for attractive surviving examples. Demand continues rising while the number of untouched coins becomes smaller each year. Many collectors purchase quality pieces and hold them long-term, reducing available supply even further. Auction bidding can become surprisingly competitive because collectors know that once an exceptional example disappears into a private collection, it may not return for years. Most people miss this because they're only looking at face value instead of collector value. Today, premium examples connected to this date have generated auction attention around $140,000 in specialized collector markets. That's why you should always check the date, verify the mint mark, protect the surfaces, and never assume modern coins lack importance. Do not spend this coin. You could be holding hidden wealth, silent fortune, and serious money disguised as everyday pocket change. Sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones people accidentally lose every single day. If you enjoyed this hunt for hidden treasure, make sure you subscribe to Coin Empire USA and turn on notifications. New rare coin discoveries are appearing all the time, and the next coin hiding in your pocket could be worth far more than anyone expects. Remember, check your change carefully, never clean your coins, and always look twice before you spend them. The fortune you're searching for might already be sitting in your hands right now.